Hi, welcome back to the channel. I'm Michelle and today I'm going to be sharing how I take care of my hair. So the past few years, I've noticed hair loss. That is something that I've been dealing with consistently for the last 3 years, and especially in the last year and a half, I've noticed balding, like thinning hair, and I wanted to do things to address it. Now, everything I'm going to talk about in here is things that have worked for me, because something I've learned through reading and research, hair is different for everybody. How things react, the porousness of your hair is different for each individual. So although I'm sharing the things that have worked or didn't work for me, that doesn't necessarily mean it will work or not work for you. I think that hair loss with women is something that needs to be talked about because it's serious. Now, I'm not the type of person that often cares what other people think about me. You know, my appearance has never been something I'm overly concerned with. I don't wear makeup. I don't care, care about designer clothes. I don't care people's perception of me. But I have to say, when I started seriously noticing balding areas, that shook me. And I think it's important because it's something that is very difficult to deal with. Even if you're the person that's not too, caring about your appearance, it can be shocking. And I want to talk about that because, like I said, I'm going to talk about products I used. I don't want this to come from a position, if you're one of those people struggling and it's really hard to think you have to buy these things, that you think it'll be a magic bullet that fixes everything, because it's not. One of the things I hate about social media is when it takes advantage of vulnerable people. I've been there. I've been in the position where I'm looking for answers. I'm kind of desperate. Things aren't going great, and looking to social media for those answers. You're not going to find the answers always on social media. I don't want this to be, you have to go out and buy these products. You don't. You absolutely do not need these products. Figure out what works best for you. And honestly, the best way to figure that out is, one, see a specialist. I do have an appointment with a dermatologist in March, and I'm going to be addressing my hair loss issues with the dermatologist as well. And I have to say, it took me 6 months to get an appointment with her. So did I want to wait 6 months to talk to the dermatologist about something that I've been noticing happen? I wanted to do something in the meantime. So my first suggestion is seek out experts, not influencers, not YouTubers, not Instagrammers. Seek out real professionals if this is something that is causing you issue. Please seek out those individuals. Second, in the meantime, when you're waiting to see, this is the things I did. These are the things that I troubleshooted because I figured I gotta try something, I gotta do something. I can't just sit here and watch my hair fall out because it is traumatic. It really is, especially when you shower and you're getting like chunks of hair. It is traumatic. And I know there are people that go through things like chemotherapy and have various disorders where this is their normal. And I can't imagine that. I can't. And I know there are situations where hair loss, the hair doesn't grow back. And I can't imagine that either. So there's a lot of situations out there. This is not a magic bullet I'm presenting to you. It's my experience, and I'm hopeful that it will help you find what personally works for you. So how I approach this is throw the kitchen sink at it. Try everything that's within reason to make it better. So the first thing I thought about, what can I do for my health to help my hair? Because that is an extension of your hair. What you're putting in your body matters. So my diet is, different than most, I would say. I'm dairy-free because I'm sensitive to dairy. My youngest daughter has celiac disease, so we're a gluten-free family. So I make dietary changes just because of that. But looking at my main hair loss, something that I've been able to pinpoint is something that I think attributes to it. Now I do have, I am getting older, I'm approaching 40. I have hair loss. Both my mother and my sister have experienced it, so genetics are in there too. I have an autoimmune condition, hypothyroidism, so that could play a role in it. So there's a lot of things. So kind of troubleshooting your hair is hard. And I understand that. That's why I've been trying different things this past year to kind of figure out what works for me and what doesn't. But like I said, one of the things I really wanted to focus on was what I'm putting in my body to help. So I do take supplements, and that's something I've always done. So the first one I'm going to talk about, again, you don't need these products, you don't need them, but this is what worked for me. Mega Food Skin, Hair, and Nails too. Now I really like the Mega Food brand. That's usually the vitamins I would take when I was pregnant with my kids. That's the prenatals I took. And it's just because I really like the whole food ingredients. Also, things have to be gluten-free in my house, so that's important to me. Dairy-free as well. So I was taking their multivitamin for a while, and I saw this, and I said, okay, I'll give it a shot. Now these are big pills. I'm not gonna lie, they're huge. That's the size of them. They don't taste great. You're supposed to take 2 a day, and they're expensive. I'm gonna be completely honest, they're expensive, but when it comes to vitamins and supplements, I rather pay more for quality, but that's my personal preference. That doesn't mean you have to go out there and buy these. There are lots of supplements that are aimed at hair. I will say that this, I have noticed a difference, especially with my nails. It makes a difference. And it's supposed to support healthy hair, complexion, nails, all that. Couldn't tell you if it works because, again, I've tried so many things that I have noticed hair growth, regrowth. My hair has improved, but I can't pinpoint the exact thing that did it, so I'm just going to share everything I used. So I do take a specific hair vitamin, and then I do take a fish oil every day. I do Barlean's omega-3. I like the ones that are flavored. I think that's helpful. Another thing I've been doing is the collagen peptides. So this is the lemon flavor. Again, these are either hit or miss. Some people say it works wonders. Some people say it does absolutely nothing. I figure it can't hurt. So I put this in my drink a couple times a week. And again, my nails and hair are pretty good now. So I think those things have helped. I can't pinpoint exactly if it did help, but again, throw in the kitchen sink and everything. I just wanted to share the things I've been doing. And I have noticed a difference. I would say the hard part about hair loss is whatever you're doing takes months to see a difference. We're talking 3 to 5 months before you see any improvement, which is hard because you don't know when things are working. So I've just been sticking with this for this past year, and it has made a positive difference for me. And I think one of the things I've come to realize about my hair is dry skin. Dry hair is something that was leading to my hair loss or contributing to my hair loss, let me put it that way. I don't know if, again, this is something with aging, something to do with my autoimmune condition, again, something I'm going to talk with a dermatologist about, that my skin has just become really dry. And it's weird because with my scalp, I don't have flaking, I don't have dandruff like you would normally see with dry skin. But I'm going to talk about what I do to address my scalp. But I do notice my scalp gets dry and uncomfortable and sometimes itchy in very specific areas. So dry patches, things like that. So I've been addressing that specifically for myself. And what can I do to, one, protect my hair from breakage, further damage, how to really moisturize my hair, because dryness was a big issue. So now I'm gonna get into products and things I'm using. So first I wanna talk about things to protect your hair. And again, this is a whole new area for me. I did a lot of research in different things. So one of the things you can do to protect your hair from breakage, because again, dry hair, you're gonna have a lot of breakage. Normal hair, you're gonna have breakage. So when you're sleeping, that's gonna cause a lot of breakage. So one of the things I've started doing, and I've been doing for this past year, is hair bonnets. I have 2 here. This one is from Walmart. I do not recommend it. It's just what they had in store. It does not stay on very well, so I don't recommend that one. My sister-in-law got me like a hair care package for Christmas because she knows I was doing all the hair stuff. So she got me this one, and this one works really well. And what's nice is it has a tie, so you can kind of tie it up. And the trick to keeping hair bonnets is you gotta have them behind your ears and they'll stay on. But I will braid my hair every night, and then I will put my hair bonnet on. And it does really protect my hair. I have no significant less breakage in my hair because I'm protecting it. And even during the day, if I'm not doing anything to protect your hair, put it in a protective hairstyle. So you don't want the tight ponies. That's how you're gonna get hair loss in those areas in your temples. You're going to see it from the constant pulling. So I don't do tight ponytails. I usually braid my hair. You'll often see my videos, my hair is braided. That's just a protective hairstyle. And I don't like hair in my face all the time, so that's how I do it. Now, when you're braiding, you want to use, you don't want to use the elastics. And if you do, one trick I've learned is if you oil it, so you take some hair oil and you put it on there, it will easily slide in and out of your hair and it won't pull out your hair because that's an issue. But I have a bunch of silk hair ties in various sizes to protect my hair, and I use those when I braid my hair or put my hair in a low pony or a bun or anything, because that is a lot better for your hair than the elastics that pull. And if you pull out an elastic before, you've seen hair come out before. Next is hairbrushes. So again, you want to be mindful of what you're using. Wet brushes are horrible for my hair. They pull out my hair. Don't recommend them for my type of hair. So I did some research. Wide tooth combs are really good. Now, one thing I want to talk about that I feel like should be common knowledge that I should have been told: don't brush your hair when it's wet. Wait till it's about 80% dry and then brush it. Your hair is extremely vulnerable when it's wet. So if you're brushing your hair while it's wet, you are causing more breakage, more damage, more hair pulling out because it's weaker when it's wet. So wait till your hair is about 80% wet before, or 80% dry before you brush it. That is a tip I will give you. So I have a wide tooth comb. Again, just got a pack of them off from Walmart. And then something I also got in my hair care package was this wooden brush. Now these are not wooden, this is wooden. And then this is kind of plasticky. You can see my daughter's been using it because she recently dyed her hair red. That's where the red hair is coming from. But this is much gentler on my hair. So try different types of hair brushes. Like I said, wet brushes didn't work for me. Something that's gentler on your hair, and especially if you're dealing with hair loss where you're brushing and you're seeing hair come out, be gentle with your hair. Take it in sections, start at the bottom, work your way up, detangle. And again, if you're using protective hairstyles, when I go to bed at night, braid my hair, get up the next morning, I don't even have to brush it because it's literally stayed in the same position, so it works really well. So those are some of the products I've been using. Let's talk about specific hair things. Like I said, my main problem is dealing with breakage, dry hair. I really need to moisturize my hair. So I'm gonna tell you my hair washing routine. It might seem like a lot, but I promise you it's not. I only have to really wash my hair every 4 to 5 days. And again, that's not because my hair is looking greasy or dirty. It's because the buildup on my skin, the dry skin, I have to remove that buildup. So I could go an entire week without washing my hair, probably more, and it looked completely great. But because of my specific issue with dry skin, I have to remove the dead skin. So my hair care washing routine: I will start with shampoo, and then after shampoo, I do vary it week to week. So 1 week I will shampoo. They recommend shampooing twice. Now again, you only shampoo the top half. You're not shampooing your ends, because if you think about it, when you're washing your hair, you want to bring the soap down. So you're not just, grabbing it like that. You're not being tough with it. You're just taking your fingers and bringing it down. And that will bring the natural soap and stuff down. But especially for my head, shampooing twice to get rid of that stuff is helpful. After that, I will do a hair mask. And I do a hair mask every week, but that is because my hair is really dry and my skin is really dry. So I need a hair mask. So I will put a hair mask on, and again, I only do it for 5 minutes. You can do them, outside of the shower. You can leave them in for 30 minutes. Some you can do overnight. Again, find out what works for you. I prefer to do it as my washing routine and moisturize. So I will leave whatever hair mask, whatever brand I'm using, in for 5 minutes while I'm doing the rest, the stuff I do in the shower. And then I will rinse that out. After I hair mask, I will then put in conditioner. Again, super moisturizing. This might be too much moisture for you, but for me, conditioning afterwards is really important. After I condition, again, make sure you're not using really hot water, especially with my flaky, dry skin. That would be horrible for my scalp to be using it. So I do try to rinse in a slightly colder or cooler temperature my hair. After I get out of the shower, again, I'm not brushing it right away. I will apply a leave-in conditioner, and that's it. Then the next week, the routine changes a little bit. So instead of shampooing once, I'll shampoo, or shampooing twice, I'll shampoo once, and then I will do an exfoliating scrub. Again, this is really important for me because of the dry skin, the flakiness, to take care of my scalp. Not everyone needs this. Some people do, so figure out what works for you. I will exfoliate, again, leave it in there, especially my scalp, for a while, and then rinse it out, and then continue the routine. Hair mask is next, and then conditioner is next, and then leave-in conditioner. I do not need to exfoliate my scalp every week. I want to talk about specific products I use. Again, these are not things you necessarily need. These are not things you need to go buy, especially if you're dealing with this issue and you're stressed, and this is just my experience. So, shampoo. I really like the 100% Pure brand. And again, not sponsored, not affiliated, nothing I'm talking about I get paid for. That's just not how I do it on this channel. I do like the ingredients in here. I prefer cleaner ingredients. They're also gluten-free, and most of the products are gluten-free. They have a variety of different scents and things you can choose from. It's pricier, again, but I believe in quality over, the really cheap stuff you buy in the, Walmart, whatever it might be. Again, work with what's in your budget. Do you have to go buy really expensive shampoo and conditioner, all these products? No, work with what's within your budget. And this does last me months. So I do like that for shampoo. And then my sister-in-law got me this brand, much more expensive, right here. She got me the sample pack, and it's a detoxifying shampoo for all hair types. Now, I will say this brand, although super expensive, I think works well. Is it worth it? First, if you don't have money, it's not worth it. It does, I will say, more than the others, provide a lot of volume in my hair. So when I'm done washing my hair with this brand, my hair has much more volume, especially when you're dealing with hair loss. It's easier to hide some of those balding areas if it looks like it's got more volume. One thing I do when I am shampooing my hair is I use an exfoliating brush. This is just the soft plastic. And again, this is specific to my hair that's, dry skin. I need to get the dead skin off my scalp, or it's irritating, causing issues. I use this every time I shampoo. Next, we're going to talk about hair masks. So the Shea Moisture, I think, is a really good price point. Not super expensive, lasts a long time. I hate the smell of it. It smells like 90s tanning lotion. I hate that smell. And it's really potent, and I'm really sensitive to fragrance. But again, experimenting with different things. You can't beat it for the price that you're paying. So I will use this. I will rotate what hair mask I use, and I think that's important with your products too, to rotate in different things. It's easy for your hair to adapt to things and build up to happen because you're using the same product after product. Just switching up your products is helpful. So, maybe get an expensive one and a cheaper one, and then just go back and forth. It does help your hair. So this one, again, will last a super long time. Just hate the smell of it. Next one is, this came in my gift bag from my sister-in-law, and this is the hair mask. Again, this one obviously won't last very long, but you don't need a ton of it, and especially depending on your hair type, sometimes you'll just use it on the ends. For me, I do put just a little bit on the top of my head, just because I deal with dryness issues and moisture issues up there, but most of the time you're just doing the lower half of your hair. So, shampoo, hair mask. One thing I've been trying out, like I said, is scalp exfoliating. This is the only one I currently have, because I just started experimenting with this. But I will say this makes a difference. I don't think it's necessarily this specific brand. I think exfoliating in general is something I will have to do. Because, like I said, I don't often notice dandruff or flaking in my hair, but after I exfoliate, I will notice that I have some flaking coming off, which is telling me there's some stuff on my scalp that needs to come off. So between the exfoliating brush and a scalp exfoliator, I'm getting all that dead skin off, which is really making my scalp a lot healthier. But again, this is my scenario. I only do this twice a month. So again, experimenting with those, seeing what works. Conditioner, I'll use whatever I have on hand. So right now I have the Shea Moisture conditioner, because this is what everybody else in my family uses. Again, I think it's really cost effective. It's a really good organization to get behind, good ingredients, moisturizing for me, and it lasts a really long time. So next I'm going to talk about leave-in conditioners. So again, 100% pure. I really like their brand. This is the multivitamin healthy hair leave-in conditioner. And again, I'll switch off. One week I'll use this leave-in conditioner. The next week I'll use this one, which came in that sample box. It's a spray, which is kind of nice. So you can just spray it on. Both really help my hair, keep it shiny, keep it healthy, keep it moisturized. And then various hair oils. So this came in my gift from my sister for Christmas. I don't like the smell. It's got like a rose scented smell to it. I hate the smell of roses. If you want to know a little about me, it reminds me of like old lady. I don't like the smell of roses, but it works really well. So I will oil my hair at night before I go to bed. Again, I'm just doing the ends. For this type of oil, I don't need to do my scalp, and you don't use a lot. So this will actually last a while. But I do think, especially if dealing with dryness issues, oiling your ends at least once a day is really helpful. So this has helped. Something I've tried is this thickening bay leaf, rosemary, and peppermint oil. Strengthens and improves hair follicles for thicker hair. Again, I found this clearanced out, so I thought I'd give it a try. Again, we're in an experimenting phase, so don't be afraid to try different things. And this is specifically for your scalp. It's not for regrowth. It gives the appearance of thicker hair. So again, with dry scalp, for me, having certain things on my scalp is helpful. Oiling, things like that is helpful for me. So I've used this for a while. This is the second one. And again, I have noticed regrowth in my hair. You can see, I definitely have some thinning, right? Not afraid to show my thinning. And you can see straight on, you can see through my hair. So you can see it's obviously thinned, right? But if you notice, you can also see a lot of little baby hairs, and particularly this little guy right here, my little horn. There is regrowth happening. So that is important because, again, like I said, there are situations where the hair doesn't grow back. So I'm thankful that any of it's growing back. But again, I think it's because taking care of my hair, making it much stronger is really helpful. And then, you know, making sure my supplements, everything else, that I'm giving my body the opportunity to grow hair. Something I've talked about in the past is rosemary spray. So you just take sprigs of rosemary. You can either get it from the produce section of the store, or if you're like me and you used it a lot, you just went out and bought a rosemary plant. I have it planted in my front yard by the other herbs, and it's just 2 sprigs of rosemary, some water. I'll put in the description box the recipe I use, just something I found online. But this was really helpful for that itchy skin, especially in the beginning, the dry skin. It does moisturize, at least it helps my skin specifically. Different people will react to different things. You can put different oils in there. There's a bunch you can do with it. I usually just make a rosemary spray using rosemary and water. And it lasts about, a week and a half, 2 weeks in the fridge. Put it on when you're dealing with those issues. That has helped in the past, but since I've been using the other products and really moisturizing and exfoliating, I haven't used the rosemary because the itchiness obviously really isn't there much. I will notice that I've got some tenderness or itching, and that tells me it's time to wash my hair because there's a buildup happening. Again, specific to my situation. And one thing I want to talk about is don't be afraid to cut your hair. That is something I really feared. You can see my hair is pretty long, right? And especially when you're dealing with hair loss, the thought of cutting your hair is really scary because you're like, well, that's all I got left, especially if you're trying to hide certain patches too. But I will say giving yourself a trim is really helpful. I did this myself. I trimmed a couple inches off my hair, and it was really helpful because you're getting that dead hair off. It's important that you trim your hair, even if you're dealing with hair loss, to keep it in a healthy way. Because I'll tell you, the hair up here is much healthier than the end. So just giving yourself, you don't have to go to a salon if you're uncomfortable with someone seeing your hair the way it is, but I do think they are, trained in how to help you with hair loss issues as well. Giving yourself a trim is really important, and making sure you're keeping the hair as healthy as you can. So that is how I've dealt with my hair loss. And like I said, I've seen regrowth happening. My hair is a lot shinier and healthier than it has ever been before, but I'm also putting intentional effort. And once you get into the routine of things, it's really just habitual. It's just part of taking care of yourself. So I encourage you to experiment with different things. kind of figure out what works for your hair type, seek out professional help, find some answers, do some troubleshooting, and ultimately, your hair doesn't define who you are. So if, it all goes away, it all goes away. Embrace it, make it be empowering, find what works for you. If wearing a wig is helpful, wear a wig. If shaving it all off, if doing pixie cut, find what works for you. This is what I've done that works for me personally. Like I said, you don't have to go buy all these things. Just experiment, work within your budget. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any specific questions, let me know in the comments down below. If not, thank you for watching.